The 2010 Audi R8 V10 5.2 FSI. No doubt the Audi R8 is a true sports car and during its lifetime has won lots of prestigious awards. But even for Audi, what we might call a best car can be better. Thus the R8 V10 5.2 FSI, an even faster R8. The V10 version will be offered with two distinct gearboxes, both manual and tronic, with prices starting at $146,000. The R8 V10 is powered by the same 5.2-liter V10 as the Lamborghini Gallardo LP560-4 and is rated at 525 HP, which is 105 ponies more than the V8 version but about 27 HP less than the Gallardo. What also distinguishes the V10 version is a new rear diffuser, twin oval tailpipes and new LED headlights, while the supercar keeps the same road-hugging magnetic ride dampers. The R8 V10 can accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in under 3.9 seconds and the tronic semi-automatic equipped V10 will reach 125 miles per hour from a standstill in another 8.1 seconds with a top speed around 197 miles per hour. Update: the 2nd of July 2010, the Audi R8 V10 got loose at the El Toro Marine Base airstrip with OMS driver Nathan Schwartzbaugh behind the wheel. Thankfully, someone was there with a video camera. Check it out after the jump. Press release after the jump. Press release. Audi is launching the next variant of its top-of-the-line model. With the R8, the brand has established itself at the forefront of high-end sports cars from the very start, and now comes the R8 V10. Its 5.2-liter, 10-cylinder engine churns out 386 kilowatts, 525 horsepower, and 530 newton-meters, 390.91 pound-feet of torque, which makes for breathtaking performance. With superior Audi technologies such as Quattro all-wheel drive, the lightweight aluminum body, the innovative all-LED headlights, and its striking design, the R8 V10 takes pole position against the competition. The R8 V10 is the result of cumulative know-how from Audi's string of Le Mans victories. Its naturally aspirated engine combines racing technology such as dry sump lubrication with FSI gasoline direct injection. The 10-cylinder design is the perfect synthesis for impressive top performance, mighty pulling power, and low weight. Starting in 2009, this engine will also prove its potential on the world's racetracks. In the new R8 racing car Audi is developing for customer teams in conformance with the GT3 rules. The V10 engine in the production sports car will be almost identical in construction to the one in the racing version. Its displacement is 5,204 cc. At 6,500 revolutions per minute it delivers 530 newton-meters, 390.91 pound-feet of torque. At 8,000 revolutions per minute its power tops out at 386 kilowatts, 525 horsepower. The specific power output is 100.9 horsepower per liter of displacement, and each HP has to propel only 3.09 kilograms (6.91 pounds) of weight, because the Audi R8 V10 in the version with the 6-speed manual gearshift weighs only 1,620 kilograms (3,571 pounds). The engine accounts for 258 of these kilograms, 569 pounds. That's only 31 kilos, 68 pounds more than the V8. 5.2-liter V10 engine, 525 horsepower at 8,000 revolutions per minute, 391 pounds, ft. At 6,500 revolutions per minute. The Audi R8 5.2 FSI Quattro rockets from 0 to 100 km per hour, 62.14 miles per hour in 3.9 seconds. In the version with the sequentially shifting tronic it reaches 200 km per hour, 124.27 miles per hour in another 8.1 seconds. Even then its propulsive power hardly lessens. It's sufficient to reach a top speed of 316 km per hour, 196.35 miles per hour. The immense force, the spontaneity and the thrust of the acceleration, plus the sound of the engine, all these impressions coalesce into a breathtaking sports car experience. The V10 plays a concert with growling bass tones and powerful high notes, which grows into a grandiose fortissimo as the engine revs up. This sonorous acceleration doesn't reach its limit until 8,700 revolutions per minute. The 5.2-liter powerplant uses direct injection according to the FSI principle developed by Audi. A common rail system injects the fuel into the combustion chambers with up to 120 bars of pressure. Direct injection reduces the susceptibility to knocking and provides a certain amount of cooling through the evaporation of the fuel, which in turn supports a high compression ratio of 12.5:1. This in turn contributes to superior performance and improves fuel economy. The R8 V10 with R-tronic gets by on an average of 13.7 liters per 100 kilometers, 17.17 US mpg. For maximum dynamics, low center of gravity engine. The technical refinements of the long-stroke 10-cylinder engine include dry sump lubrication, which allows the engine to be mounted low within the chassis. The wide cylinder angle of 90 degrees also makes for a low center of gravity. The crankcase is a high-strength aluminum alloy casting produced in a complex process. The connecting rods are made of forged steel, the pistons of aluminum. The 4 camshafts are chain-driven and each is adjustable through 42 degrees. This provides great latitude in controlling the valve timing. In combination with the straight, flow-optimized ducts of the intake manifold, this improves the charge throughout the entire speed range. The R8 5.2 FSI Quattro has a 6-speed transmission. A precise and smooth shifting manual transmission comes as standard equipment. The sequential R-tronic is available as an option. The high-tech gearshift conveys an authentic racing feel, with the rocker switches at the steering wheel and the short shifting times of usually less than 1/10 of a second. When the driver actuates the launch control program by pressing a button, the R8 V10 takes off in a vehement quick start with electronically controlled tire slip, both with the R-tronic and with the manual transmission. A contributing factor to the wide lead in traction and driving safety of the Audi R8 V10 over the competition is Quattro all-wheel drive. It's the superior technology especially for a high-performance sports car. 4 powered wheels get more grip than 2. They enable the driver to step on the gas sooner when coming out of a curve. It's not only the traction that benefits, but also the transverse dynamics and the stability. 44 to 56%, the ideal axle load distribution. The Audi R8 chassis offers both dynamic performance and astonishing levels of comfort on long distances. This high-performance sports car from Audi eagerly responds to any steering action with instant ease, achieves lateral acceleration of up to 1.2 grams, and handles any situation with superb driving safety. Its mid-engine design provides an ideal axle load distribution of 44 to 56%. The wheel suspensions on dual aluminum wishbones front and rear, a classic racing technology, are optimized for neutral self-steering characteristics. Even more than in the 8-cylinder R8, this setup is designed for maximum performance. 19-inch wheels equipped with tire pressure monitoring display are standard equipment. Their 10-spoke Y design is exclusive to the R8 V10. Tire sizes are 235/35 front and 295/30 rear. The car features a high-end damper technology as standard. Audi Magnetic Ride adapts the characteristics of the suspension in milliseconds to the nature of the road surface and to the driving style. Suspended in the oil of the shock absorbers are tiny magnetic particles which, when a voltage is applied, rearrange themselves so as to slow down the flow of oil through the valves. In the R8 V10, deceleration is provided by an extremely muscular braking system. 8 brake pistons at the front and 4 at the rear grasp the brake discs, which are ventilated and perforated to ensure unimpeded heat transfer. The brake discs on the front axle have a diameter of 380 mm 15 in, the rear discs span 356 mm 14 in. The R8 5.2 FSI Quattro is optionally available with a ceramic brake system whose discs are made of a composite material containing high-strength carbon fibers and abrasion-resistant silicon carbide. These are especially light, their combined weight is 9 kg (19.84 pounds) less than the weight of equivalent steel discs.
The ceramic brakes can easily cope with the harsher requirements of racing, won't corrode, and have a typical service life of 300,000 kilometers, 186,400 miles. Their calipers are painted charcoal gray and emblazoned with the inscription Audi Ceramic. Typically Audi, sharp lines and an elegantly curved roof. The wide, full shape of the R8 5.2 FSI Quattro seems to hug the road. The brawny proportions and prominent wheel wells underscore its potential. The high-precision styling of the lines and the elegant curve of the roof are typical Audi features. A continuous contour optically connects the front, the wheel wells, the sides and the rear. Located well forward, the cab visually expresses the mid-engine design. The vertical air scoops side blades on the sides are also indicative of the engine location. The massive aluminum gas cap is mounted flush within the right side blade. The design of the Audi R8 has already impressed experts, as evidenced by the double victory in the World Car of the Year Awards 2008. In the 10-cylinder model, the styling has been sharpened up even more. The front air inlets, which feed air to the coolers, and the lip of the front apron are painted in high-gloss black. The number of cross braces has been reduced from 4 to 2. The vanes of the single-frame grille have a striking chrome finish. A very distinctive highlight of the R8 V10 are the all-LED headlights as standard equipment. Audi is the world's first automaker to use LEDs for the high beam, low beam, daytime running lights, and turn signals. Each headlight integrates 54 of these high-tech light sources. With a color temperature of 6000 Kelvin, the LED light closely resembles daylight, which is less tiring to the eyes in night driving. Further advantages of the LEDs include brilliant illumination, low energy consumption, and a virtually unlimited service life. Special details also distinguish the body of the R8 V10. Its side blades are more accentuated than in the 8-cylinder version. The side sills are more striking and wider. The exhaust grills at the rear windows have a matte aluminum look. Through the large rear window, the 10-cylinder engine is clearly visible in its consummate technical beauty. When in motion, this Audi high-performance sports car creates a downforce that keeps it in firm contact with the road, thanks to a rear spoiler which deploys automatically at 100 km/h and the fully enclosed underbody, which terminates in a sharply upward curved diffuser. The dominant color at the rear end is high-gloss black, including the settings of the LED taillights. The air outlets at the rear end also have only 2 cross braces, and the exhaust system terminates in 2 large oval tailpipes. Audi sets the example, in body weight and rigidity. The body of a sports car must be especially lightweight and rigid. Audi meets these requirements with the technology of the Audi Space Frame (ASF) and its high-tech aluminum construction. The body in white of the R8 V10, which includes an engine frame made of ultra-light magnesium, weighs only 210 kilograms (463 pounds), and the quality of its lightweight design, the relation of weight to torsional rigidity, is the best in the sports car segment. The body is composed of profile extrusions, sheet aluminum and very complex gusset castings, all held together by 99 meters (325 feet) of welding seams, 782 rivets, and 308 special screws. The interior of the R8 V10 provides a unique racing ambience at the luxury level. Its dominant element is the so-called monoposto, a wide arc that contains the steering wheel and the cockpit. As always in an Audi, the workmanship is of the highest quality. The surfaces of the dashboard and doors are lined with fine materials and adorned with precisely stitched decorative seams. Many customizing solutions are available. Audi supplies leather in a wide range of colors, packages with a carbon and piano lacquer finish, or a made-to-measure luggage set. Quattro GmbH, which has developed and is producing the R8 V10, also provides solutions for unconventional requirements. The great everyday utility of the Audi R8 V10 is based in part on its spacious interior made possible by the long wheelbase of 2.65 meters (8.69 feet). Drivers and passengers of any size will always find a perfect sitting position. Visibility too is surprisingly good. Slender hinge pillars optimize the obliquely forward field of view. Another advantage for convenient everyday use is the luggage space. 100 liters (3.53 cubic feet) fit under the front hood. Another 90 liters (3.18 cubic feet) can be stowed behind the seats.
There is also room for 2 golf bags. The Audi R8 5.2 FSI Quattro combines its colossal performance with a generous complement of standard equipment. Highlights include heatable seat covers made of fine Nappa leather, a driver information system, the navigation system plus and the Bang & Olufsen sound system along with deluxe automatic air conditioning and an alarm system. The instruments and the gearshift knob are decorated with red rings, the footrests and the rocker switches of the R-Tronic have an aluminum finish. The list of options includes other highly attractive features, such as the Audi parking system advanced with its integrated rearview camera or numerous Audi-exclusive customization options. Various leather packages provide a luxurious touch, while the bucket seats from the Audi exclusive program bring a highly concentrated racing atmosphere into the R8 V10 engine. The R8 5.2 FSI Quattro is a winner. Its genes contain the cumulative experience of 8 Le Mans triumphs and many other victories achieved by Audi over the past 9 years. And the new top-of-the-line version retains these close links to motorsport. Starting in spring, its 10-cylinder engine in virtually unchanged form will display its potential on the racetrack, in the new R8 LMS racing car, which Audi is readying for the customer sports segment in accordance with the GT3 rules. The V10, which is to a large extent a new development, exploits a total displacement of 5,204 cc and is designed to rev up easily. At 6,500 revolutions per minute it delivers 530 Nm 390.91 pound-feet of torque, and at 8,000 revolutions per minute it puts out 386 kilowatts 525 horsepower. Its limit isn't reached until 8,700 revolutions per minute, when each piston travels 26.9 meters 88 feet per second. The specific power output is 100.9 horsepower per liter of displacement. And every HP only needs to propel 3.09 kilograms (6.81 pounds) of weight, because the high-performance sports car in the version with the manual transmission only weighs 1,620 kilograms (3,571 pounds). 0 to 200 kilometers per hour, 12.0 seconds. The Audi R8 5.2 FSI Quattro provides superior performance. It rockets from 0 to 100 km per hour, 62.14 miles per hour, in 3.9 seconds. In the version with the sequentially shifting R-Tronic it passes the 200 km per hour, 124.27 miles per hour mark in another 8.1 seconds. And its powerful propulsion continues well beyond that, to a top speed of 316 km per hour, 196.35 miles per hour. The immense power, the eager response to the gas pedal, the outstanding revving ability, the palpable force of acceleration, and the thrilling sound, all these impressions combine to give a truly thrilling sports car experience. The V10 is a highly sonorous engine with growling bass tones and powerful high notes, which grows into a spectacular fortissimo as the engine revs up. 2 sound baffles in the exhaust system that are controlled by underpressure modulate its volume and pitch as a function of the load and the engine speed. The 10-cylinder layout is the ideal solution for maximum dynamism. Compared to a V8 with the same displacement, a V10 has smaller and lighter pistons and connecting rods, which makes it a free revving engine. Compared to a V12, on the other hand, it has fewer components, resulting in lower moving masses and less internal friction. And it is very compact. Even with all attached components, the 10-cylinder engine is only 646 mm 25 in long, 737 mm 29 in wide and 696 mm 27 in high. V angle of 90 degrees for a low center of gravity. The V10 is a member of the Audi family of V engines with a 90-degree cylinder angle. This large cylinder angle results in a low center of gravity. The banks face each other with an offset of 18.5 mm (0.73 in), the bore is 84.5 mm (3.3 in), the stroke 92.8 mm (3.6 in). To achieve maximum rigidity with minimum weight, the crankshaft was designed as a common pin shaft, which results in alternating ignition distances of 54 degrees and 90 degrees. This ignition sequence is one of the reasons for the racing-like sound of the V10 engine. 0 to 60 miles per hour in 3.9 seconds, 0 to 124 miles per hour in 12.0 seconds, top speed of 196 miles per hour. The crankcase is produced by a low-pressure die-casting method of a hypereutectic aluminum-silicon alloy, a high-tech material that combines low weight with high strength. The high silicon content of this alloy endows the cylinder tracks with the required wear resistance to withstand the very high average piston velocity of up to 26.9 meters per second. The entire engine weighs only 258 kilograms, 569 pounds, just 31 kilograms, 68 pounds more than the V8. The bed plate design, the lower bearing brackets for the crankshaft are integrated into a single frame, provides the crankcase with maximum rigidity and optimum vibration behavior. Integrally cast iron bearing brackets reduce the thermal expansion of the aluminum housing and minimize the play in the main crankshaft bearings. The forged crankshaft and the forged steel con rods combine high strength with low weight. The pistons are forged of a high-strength aluminum alloy. The V10 obtains its oil, which is temperature controlled by dual coolers, from a dry sump, a design that allows the engine to be installed very low. The external container and the oil pump module, which is designed to work very efficiently with several suction levels and pressure levels, ensure lubrication under any conditions, even during the extreme transverse acceleration exceeding 1.2 grams of which the R8 5.2 FSI Quattro is capable. The camshafts, as well as the oil pump, the water pump and parts of the accessory subsystems, are powered by maintenance-free chains located on the rear wall of the engine. All four camshafts are adjustable through 42 degrees crank angle, which provides a wide range of control times for the 40 valves, which are actuated by roller-mounted cam followers. The exhaust valves are subject to a high thermal load and are lined with sodium to assist in cooling. High cylinder filling and perfect mixture formation. The induction pipe is made of lightweight plastic and designed for optimized flow conditions through the ports. Integrated in the intake ports are tumble flaps that are controlled by the engine management system. During low load conditions, these tumble flaps stroke the inducted air inward to impart motion to it, which improves the efficiency of the combustion process. At full load, the tumble flaps adapt their shape to the contour of the intake ports to optimize the flow. On the exhaust side, the dynamics of the gas exchange are supported by individual elbow joints. They are precisely attuned to the operation of the 10-cylinder engine. The 10-cylinder engine uses direct injection as per the FSI principle developed by Audi. In the Audi R8 racing car, it has impressively demonstrated its superiority in 5 overall victories in the Le Mans 24 Hours. A common rail system injects the fuel with up to 120 bars of pressure into the combustion chambers through valves placed laterally on the cylinder. This injection strategy causes internal cooling and consequently allows a very high compression ratio of 12.51. It contributes both to the high power output and to high efficiency. The engine gets by on an average 13.7 liters of fuel per 100 kilometers, 17.17 US mpg. The V10 is managed by a highly advanced control system that employs 2 computers in a master-slave arrangement. Powertrain. The double-disc clutch in the R8 5.2 FSI Quattro is very compact, an advantage which is actually a necessity due to the low position of the engine. The standard transmission is 6-speed manual. The driver moves the shift lever in short steps through an elegant stainless steel profile, with precision and the greatest of ease, a characteristic Audi feature. As a customer option, Audi will equip the R8 5.2 FSI Quattro with the sequential R-tronic. With the short selector lever and its rocker switches in an elegant aluminum finish on the steering wheel, it communicates an authentic racing feel. The shifting speed varies with the requirements. In a moderate driving style, the gear change occurs at a comfortable rate. At high load and revs it shifts extremely quickly, within a mere tenth of a second. If desired, R-tronic can also shift gears fully automatically. The driver can control its operation through 4 different programs, 2 each in the manual and in the automatic mode. The most comfortable R-tronic mode is Automatic Normal, the most dynamic is Manual Sport.
R-Tronic is equipped with a separate hydraulic oil circuit. The integrated power unit provides the required pressure of 40 to 50 bars. The hydraulics actuates the clutch and changes the gears. The driver's commands are transmitted by wire, i.e. electrically. A standard feature of R-Tronic is the Launch Control Program, which enables the R8 5.2 FSI Quattro to make lightning-fast starts fully automatically. The driver activates it with a delightful little procedure: select Shift Program S, deactivate traction control, select gear, step on brake pedal, press gas pedal to the floor, and wait until a constant engine speed is shown on the tachometer. If you now release the brake, launch control does the rest. It actuates clutch engagement within milliseconds. The V10 engine matches its immense power to the ideal degree of tire slip for the best possible acceleration on the road. A contributing factor to the wide lead in traction and driving safety with which the Audi R8 V10 leaves the competition trailing is the Quattro all-wheel drive. This is the superior technology for a high-performance sports car in particular. 4 powered wheels get more grip than 2. They enable the driver to step on the gas sooner when coming out of a curve. Other benefits include transverse dynamics and stability. The high-performance sports car provides an entirely safe and trouble-free ride. The R8 model series with its mid-engine concept is a special formulation of the Quattro lineage. From the transmission, which is located lengthwise behind the V10, a drive shaft extends forward through the engine to the front axle differential. This is where a viscous coupling distributes the power between the front and rear wheels. In regular driving, it distributes about 85% of the torque to the rear axle. But if necessary, it can transfer up to 30% to the front within a few milliseconds. At the rear axle, a mechanical limited slip differential further increases the traction. Its locking power amounts to 25% in traction and 40% in thrust. Chassis. For the Audi R8 5.2 FSI Quattro high-performance sports car, the mid-engine concept is the ideal solution. It results in an axle load distribution of 44 to 56, and it locates the engine close to the vertical axis, in the center of the car, so that the inertia of the engine's mass hardly matters during swift direction changes. A tour over a mountain pass or an excursion on a racetrack in the R8 5.2 FSI Quattro is a truly amazing experience, the very epitome of dynamism. The high-performance sports car from Audi reacts to all steering commands with lightning speed, almost instantly. It attains extreme speed in the turns while staying practically neutral, and retains poise and safety in any situation. A contributing factor is the special kinematics of the rear axle. The predefined toe-in angle of the wheels under load ensures grip and stability. Notwithstanding the exciting dynamics, the suspension provides surprisingly good comfort on long drives. The dual wishbones that steer all 4 wheels, a racing car feature, are forged of aluminum to reduce the unsprung mass. Rubber metal bearings transfer the transverse forces precisely into the body. They also provide good longitudinal elasticity and absorb much of the undesirable vibrations from the roadway. Developed on the North Loop, the fine-tuning. The hydraulic rack and pinion power steering contributes much of the feel of uncompromising precision which the R8 5.2 FSI Quattro conveys. It delivers a highly differentiated, sensitive feedback via a sporty 17:3:1 ratio. The setup of the suspension is designed for even higher performance than in the 8-cylinder R8. Audi has fine-tuned it with 8,000 test drive kilometers in the world's toughest laboratory, the North Loop of the Nürburgring. A standard high-end feature further broadens the dynamic spectrum. Audi Magnetic Ride adapts the operating mode of the suspension to the road's profile and the driver's style. The driver can switch over anytime between the comfort-oriented normal mode and the crisply firm sport mode. The pistons of the shock absorbers contain a circulating synthetic hydrocarbon oil in which small magnetic particles are suspended that measure only between 3 and 10 thousandths of a millimeter, about 1/10 the diameter of a human hair. Applying a voltage to a coil causes a magnetic field in which the orientation of the particles change. They then impede the flow of the oil through the piston channels by orienting themselves crosswise to the flow direction. This happens in just a few milliseconds, much faster than the response in conventional adaptive dampers.
Using data from a complex sensor system, a control device continually recalculates the optimum values for each individual wheel. When the R8 5.2 FSI Quattro heads into a curve, the damping force at the wheel on the outside of the curve is increased, which reduces the tilt of the body and increases the spontaneity of the response. The new top model of the R8 series relies on a big tread 19-inch wheels complete with tire pressure monitor. They are equipped with 10 spokes in AY arrangement designed especially for the V10 and are brilliantly polished. Tire sizes, also for the winter tires, are 235/35 front and 295/30 rear. Optionally available in the same size from Quattro GmbH are wheels with a 5 twin-spoke design with a titanium gray or brilliantly polished finish. Racing performance, the braking system. Deceleration is provided by a powerful braking system with lightweight aluminum calipers. The front brakes are equipped with fixed calipers with 8 pistons each, the rear brakes with 4 pistons each. The brake discs are internally ventilated and perforated to maximize heat dissipation. The front brake discs are 365 mm (14.4 in) diameter, the rear discs 356 mm (14 in). Each disc consists of a steel friction ring and an aluminum hub. They are interconnected by stainless steel pins, which prevents the transfer of temperature spikes. As a customer option, Audi will equip the R8 5.2 FSI Quattro with ceramic brake discs. They are painted anthracite gray and adorned with the exclusive Audi ceramic logo. In front, the braking effect is generated with a 6-piston monoblock aluminum caliper and a brake disc with a diameter of 380 mm (15 in). In the rear, floating calipers and ceramic discs with a 356 mm (14 in) diameter are installed. Their base material is silicon carbide, an extremely hard, abrasion-resistant material with a diamond-like crystalline structure. Embedded in it are high-strength carbon fibers that absorb mechanical stresses. The complex geometry of the cooling ducts ensures swift heat dissipation. 10 threaded elastic pins connect the friction ring to a stainless steel hub which in turn connects to the wheel hub. These ceramic discs are especially light, their combined weight is 9 kg less than the weight of equivalent steel discs. They also hold up very well under the stresses of more aggressive driving and always remain free of corrosion. The boundary region of the driving dynamics of this high-performance sports car is monitored by a specially designed stabilization system. By pressing a button it can be switched into a sport mode, which allows accelerating out of a curve with spectacular but safe oversteering. For especially dynamic driving, such as on a fast lap around a racetrack, the ESP including the automatic traction control can also be completely deactivated. To provide passive safety, the car is equipped with 2 front airbags with 2-stage triggering as well as head and chest side bags. The integral head restraint system reduces the risk of a whiplash injury in a rear-end collision. Body. In terms of its body characteristics, too, the Audi R8 5.2 FSI Quattro is at the top of its class. Built of aluminum in the Audi Space Frame (ASF) design, it weighs a mere 210 kg (463 pounds). In the quality of its lightweight construction, the relation of weight, size and torsional rigidity, the ASF earns the best score in the sports car segment, which lays the foundation for its precise handling and its high level of crash safety. Since the development of the first A8 in the early 1990s, Audi has held pole position in aluminum lightweight design. In the ASF technology, the weight-bearing structure is composed of 3 groups of components, each of which combines maximum stability with minimum weight. Aluminum extrusions make up 70% of the body in white, vacuum cast nodes 8%, and sheet aluminum panels, which also bear weight, make up 22%. Firm connections, high-tech production. The ASF of the Audi R8, which integrates a weight-bearing engine frame of ultralight magnesium, is produced largely by hand in the Neckarsulm manufacturing plant of Quattro GmbH. Maximum precision and the use of the most advanced joining techniques are taken for granted here. 99 meters of welding seams, 782 rivets and 308 self-tapping screws hold the body together. A fully automatic measuring system checks the dimensions of every single body with a precision in the 1/10 mm range. An important component of the ASF is the separation wall between the passenger compartment and the engine compartment. It is lined with special materials on both sides, and the window is made of a sound-dampening glass, so the music of the 10 cylinders behind the driver conveys a sense of energy but is never intrusive. Exterior. The stance of the Audi R8 5.2 FSI Quattro is broad and low, as if ready to leap. The powerful proportions and the large wheel wells underscore its potential. Typical for the brand of the four rings is the exquisite precision in handling lines, the sculpted look even of flat areas, and the elegant flow of the curved roof. Another typical Audi feature is the close relation to motorsport. The basic design of the R8 came from the same team that designed the triumphant Le Mans racing car. A continuous contour, the loop, optically connects the front, the wheel wells, the sides and the rear. Located well forward, the cab visually expresses the mid-engine design. The vertical air vents at the sides, called side blades, are also indicative of the engine position and are flared further outwards. The massive aluminum gas cap is mounted flush within the right side blade. Distinctive details, the look of the R8 5.2 FSI Quattro. The distinctive design of the Audi R8 has met with great approval among automotive professionals. The dual victory in the selection of the World Car of the Year Awards 2008 as World Performance Car and as World Car Design is an expression of this. In the 10-cylinder model, the styling has been sharpened up a bit more. Audi has adopted Sepping Blue Pearl effect as a paint finish exclusive to the 5.2 FSI Quattro. The customer can also choose one of 8 other colors, as well as one of 8 standard colors for the side blades. The air intakes in front, providing airflow to the water coolers and the brakes, as well as the lip of the front apron, are painted in a high-gloss black. The intakes have only 2 instead of 3 cross braces, which makes them look even bigger and hungrier. The braces of the large single-frame grille, which is also painted in high-gloss black, are embellished by distinctive chrome designs. As in the 8-cylinder R8, the 4 rings are not mounted within the grille but on top of the front hood. A very distinctive highlight of the R8 5.2 FSI Quattro are the all-LED headlights as standard equipment. Audi is the world's first automaker to use LEDs for the high beam, low beam, daytime running lights and turn signals. In this highly complex technology, lens and reflector systems, intelligent ballasts and fan-driven coolers interact. Although the chips emit so-called cool light, they actually heat up, and their temperature must be kept within a defined range. With a color temperature of 6000 Kelvin, the LED light closely resembles white daylight, which is less tiring to the eyes when driving at night. The excellent light distribution and virtually unlimited service life of LEDs are additional benefits. What's more, their energy consumption is already substantially lower than in halogen lights, an efficiency gain that will increase as a result of development in the coming years. The look of these lights is also attractive and distinctive. The daytime running lights form a dynamic curve just below the headlights. They consist of 24 LEDs, which appear not as a chain of separate light sources but as a continuous ribbon. And the reflectors, located toward the single-frame grille, are reminiscent of open seashells. Like a work of art in a showcase, the engine. There are many other special details on the body of the R8 5.2 FSI Quattro. V10 badges on the forward sidewalls announce the big engine. The side blades, the air intakes for the engine, oil cooler and rear brakes, are flared outward further than in the 8-cylinder version and have an additional edge. The side sills are significantly wider as well. The exhaust grills at the rear windows retain their matte aluminum sheen. Well visible through the large rear window, the 10-cylinder engine displays itself like a work of art in a showcase. In connection with the coming, leaving home function, 6 LED light sources highlight its technological beauty. At the tail end of the R8 5.2 FSI Quattro high gloss black is the dominant color. The housings of the taillights are also of a dark color. Here, LEDs mounted in tubular housings create 3-dimensional lighting effect. The air outlets at the rear end also have only 2 cross braces, and the exhaust system terminates in 2 large, oval tailpipes. The fully enclosed underbody ends in a diffuser with a pronounced upward sweep. The rear spoiler automatically deploys at 100 km per hour, 62.14 miles per hour. Its interior portion is designed to remove heat from the tailpipe area at rest. Thanks to this well-thought-out airflow pattern, the high-performance sports car develops a downforce while driving that presses it firmly against the road. Nevertheless, the R8 5.2 FSI Quattro has a relatively low drag coefficient of 0.36. With that and the small face of only 1.99 square meters, 21.42 square feet, it glides smoothly through the breeze, up to its top speed of 316 km per hour, 196.35 miles per hour. Interior. The high level of everyday utility of the Audi R8 5.2 FSI Quattro is evident in its generous interior space, which is made possible by the long wheelbase of 2.65 meters (8.69 feet) and the generous shoulder width of 1.39 meters (4.56 feet). Drivers and passengers of any size will always find a perfect sitting position. Visibility too is surprisingly good. Slender hinge pillars optimize the obliquely forward field of view. Another advantage for convenient everyday use is the luggage space. 100 liters (3.53 cubic feet) fit under the front hood, another 90 liters (3.18 cubic feet) can be stowed behind the seats. There is also room for 2 golf bags. The interior of the R8 5.2 FSI Quattro treats occupants to a racing atmosphere at the luxury level. Its most distinctive element is the so-called monoposto, a large arc that encompasses the steering wheel and the cockpit, continues to the doors and to the tall, wide center tunnel. The monoposto accentuates the cockpit character, just like the steering wheel with the flattened bottom profile. The driver interface is clearly laid out and includes a color monitor. The standard driver information system includes 2 small highlights. It presents the speed as a digital readout and serves as a lap timer when needed. The instruments and the gearshift knob are decorated with red rings. The pedals, the footrests and the rocker switches of the R-Tronic have an aluminum finish, as do the door sills. As always in an Audi, the workmanship is of the highest quality. The surfaces of the dashboard and doors are lined with fine materials and adorned with precisely stitched decorative seams. Many customizing solutions are available. Audi supplies leather in a wide range of colors, packages with a carbon sigma and piano finish, or a made-to-measure luggage set. Various classy design and leather packages as well as an Alcantara headlining are optionally available. Equipment. The Audi R8 5.2 FSI Quattro will be rolled out in Germany in the second quarter of 2009 at a base price of €142,400. It combines its powerful performance with a very generous combination of standard equipment. Highlights include heated seat covers made of fine Nappa leather, the navigation system plus, a driver information system, deluxe automatic air conditioning and an anti-theft alarm. Also standard is the 465-watt Bang & Olufsen sound system to delight passengers with breathtaking, highly precise sound from 12 optimally located speakers. The list of options makes many other highly attractive features available, such as the Audi parking system advanced with integrated rearview camera or a Bluetooth interface for your cell phone. Adjustable bucket seats from the Audi exclusive program make the racing atmosphere on board even more palpable. Optionally available from Audi are the front spoiler, the rear diffuser, the side blades, and the engine compartment enclosure in carbon fiber. Quattro GmbH, which has developed and is producing the R8 5.2 FSI Quattro, also meets unusual customer requirements, such as a particularly striking custom paint finish. Specifications: engine type 5.2-liter V10 spark ignition engine with FSI direct injection, 90-degree cylinder angle, 4-valve technology, double overhead camshafts (DOHC), intake manifold with charge movement flaps, naturally aspirated high revving setup to 8,700 revolutions per minute, max RPM 8,700 revolutions per minute, arrangement mid-mounted, longitudinal bore 3.33 in. 84.5 mm stroke 3.65 in. 92.8 mm displacement 317.6 cu. In. 5204 ccm compression ratio 12.5, 1 fuel requirement premium unleaded horsepower, say 525 horsepower at 8000 revolutions per minute max. Torque 391 pounds, ft. At 6,500 rpm. Engine design, cylinder block aluminum alloy incorporating silicon crystals connecting rods, forged steel pistons, aluminum crankcase, high-strength aluminum alloy casting, crankshaft, forged steel, 5 main bearings, cylinder head, valve train, intake, continuous intake and exhaust, camshaft adjustment, DOHC chain-driven firing order 1-6-5-10-2-7-3-8-4-9 cooling system, water-cooled, thermostatically controlled radiator, fan lubrication system, dry sump, oil system, fuel injection, ignition system, emission system. Fuel Super Plus RAS 98, Premium Unlead 91 Aki. Electrical system. Battery 110 amp per hour. Alternator 14 volts 190 amp. DRIVETRAIN. Transmission 6-speed manual transmission with launch control, available R-tronic, shift times usually less than 0.1 secs with launch control. Gear ratios. First, 2CND 4.373, 2.709, 4.373, 2.709. Third, fourth 1.925, 1.502, 1.925, 1.502. Fifth, sixth 1.239, 1.035, 1.239, 1.035. Reverse 3.713, 3.713. Final drive 3.077, 3.077. Center differential viscous clutch. Steering. Type hydraulically assisted rack and pinion steering. Ratio 17.3. Turning circle, curb to curb, 38.7 feet. 11.8 meters. Suspension. Front double aluminum wishbone front suspension, higher tuning than V8. Rear double aluminum wishbone rear suspension, higher tuning than V8. Brakes. Service brake disc brakes, internally vented, 8-piston brake calipers at front and 4-piston at rear. Front size 14.4 in. 365 mm. Rear size 14.0 in. 356 mm. Parking brake mechanically actuated at the rear wheels. Wheels standard only. Size front, 8.5J x19 and rear, 11J x19 alloy wheels. Tires standard only. Size front, 235 35ths 91Y and rear, 295 30ths 100Y. Body. Material Audi Space Frame ASF. Corrosion protection, multi-step anti-corrosion protection. Exterior dimensions. Wheelbase 104.3 in. 2,650 mm. 64.3, 62.8 in. 1,632 1,595ths of a millimeter. Overall length 174.6 in. 4,435 mm. Overall width with O mirrors 76.0 in. 1,930 mm. Height 49.3 in. Performance. 0 to 60 miles per hour 3.7 seconds. 0 to 100 kilometers per hour 3.9 seconds. 0 to 200 kilometers per hour 12.0 seconds. Top speed 196 miles per hour. Lateral acceleration 1.2 grams. Prices. Packages. Options. Competitors and press reviews. With the suspension set in regular mode, the car happily soaks up road imperfections, while in sport mode the whole thing tightens up, gets even more communicative, and gives you that masochistic punishment supercars are known and loved for. However, you can't be a lazy driver when on the road with the R8 V10. If you want to go fast, you have to row the shifter. Cruising along at 70 miles per hour in top gear, the R8 will accelerate strongly if you floor the throttle, but drop it down 2 cogs and it'll explode in a chorus of V10 serenaded acceleration. Acceleration like this can't possibly be legally contained to public streets. Luckily, we had the chance to drive it at Infineon Jalopnik. In a straight line, hot throttle and braking can remind us that there's some added weight behind our head, but that's par for the course when you add 2 cylinders back there. Besides, this car feels more substantial and mighty for all of that. And the added heaps of power and torque pretty much negate any detrimental effects of additional heft anyway. Inside line. At the first 90-degree right-hander, we laid into the anchors too early. Going from a daily driver S4 to an R8 means recalibrating one's simpleton idea of physics, but even that minor flub was instantly rectified with the prodigious thrust on tap. Halfway through the bend, we were 3/4 down on the throttle when the back end began progressively rotating left as the Quattro all-wheel drive system began shuffling 30% of the torque to the front, then back to 90% when we were finally pointed straight. If you resist the urge to go all Captain Hero, this R8 rewards. It may be more forgiving than most cars of its ilk, but drive like a buffoon and at some point in your travels, you're bound to meet the wall in a svelte aluminum coffin. St. Peter will be humored, even if you're forced to board a southbound elevator. Autoblog. Competitors. Aston Martin DB9 Coupe. The new DB9 is powered by a revised version of Aston Martin's 6.0-liter V12 engine that delivers a total of 470 bhp at 6,000 revolutions per minute and a peak torque of 600 Nm at 5,000 revolutions per minute. It makes the sprint from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 4.6 seconds and top speed goes up to 190 miles per hour. The DB9 Coupe is priced at $186,450. Lamborghini Gallardo LP560-4. The Gallardo LP560-4 is powered by the new 5.2-liter V10 engine with an output of 560 horsepower at 8,000 revolutions per minute. It accelerates from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 3.7 seconds, its speed at 11.8 seconds is 124 miles per hour and its top speed lies at 201 miles per hour. The Gallardo LP560-4 is priced at $198,000. Porsche 911 Turbo. The 2010 Porsche Turbo is powered by a 3.8-liter 6-cylinder engine with variable turbine geometry (VTG), with a total output of 500 horsepower at 6,000 revolutions per minute and a peak torque of 480 pounds or 516 lb/ft with Sport Chromo package turbo. The sprint from 0 to 60 miles per hour is made in 3.4 seconds, while top speed goes up to 194 miles per hour. Prices for the turbo start at $132,800. Conclusion. The Audi R8 V10 is the perfect car for those of you who want more than a sports car, but not a supercar. Is the car that fits perfect between these two edges: an aggressive look, enough power, impressive performance, and a right price. If you want more than that, well then you should go buy a Lamborghini or a Ferrari. But we will stick with the R8. The R8 impressed us even in the V8 version, so with the V10 version we are speechless. The car offers a smooth drive, it handles like no other, not to mention that corning is fun for the first time. So, for us the Audi R8 V10 is the perfect sports car for under $150,000.
If you liked this video, please share your thoughts in the comments below and don't forget to hit the subscribe button.